Daleny Vaughn, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really close to that second stop of the USA BMX Pro season. Rock Hill did not go as planned for you, but I know you had some, outlying factors to lead into that. Let the people know, like, what happened, weeks leading up into Rock Hill. Definitely a scary moment, I'm sure.
It wasn't too scary, just kind of was a weird thing. So off-season training was going really well. I had a crash at the local into our last corner. Got my elbow pretty good, had to go get stitches, which wasn't a problem at all. I was like, oh, I got away with this one pretty good. And then it was probably like week and a half go by, and it started to turn like black. And so I'm like, yeah, I think I got an infection. So went to urgent care. They couldn't really do much for me. And so then the next day I had to go into the hospital. And they're like, yeah, this is not looking too great. So they gave me an IV antibiotic, had an allergic reaction to that. And then they put me on a different antibiotic to go home with and take to get rid of the infection. And then I was fine. And then a week goes by, and then I wake up and I just have this horrible fever and this insane rash, head to toe, gnarly.
No.
So I go back into the hospital, and I had a super delayed reaction to the antibiotic. And so it's called DRESS syndrome, and it attacks your organs and stuff. So my blood work was all out of whack and everything. And I thought it would be I'll get off the medicine, I'll be fine. But it hit my body so hard. It took me so long to just kind of start feeling better and feel like myself again. So it was just kind of a super weird thing that happened. So I knew going into Rock Hill, my numbers weren't good. I wasn't going fast. I didn't feel great. I knew it was going to be rough, but you never know what can happen on race day. So I was like, you know what, let's go there and we'll see what we can do. So
that's a wild series of events, especially thankfully, the blessing disguised with that long off season to give you a little bit of time to recoup. But well, like you said, Rock Hill, wasn't the best for you, but a long season ahead. Got so many more stops, and we're going into Bakersfield, kind of more of a track that I think the fans would say is more your specialty. Small track, all about the 30-foot and a decently long first straight for a short track. So what are kind of your focuses, especially now off season after Rock Hill, going into Bakersfield? What are you focusing on?
The focus is just riding to the best of my ability and making sure that I do everything that I need to do correctly. And if that's the case, then I think we'll be in a really good spot. So
definitely. The current landscape of pro BMXing right now, or pro BMX racing right now, is so sporadic in the sense of you have the USA BMX series that goes to small hill, downhill tracks, big hill tracks, a wider range, and then you end it off in a dirt track for the Grands. And then the other side is the international racing, where it's all big hill. You're trying to chase UCI points to get on the world's team, and then every 4 years you're hunting for that Olympic Games. How are you, now that you're past the Olympic cycle, going to the Olympics, into your first season back? Where are you kind of focusing, and what are kind of the goals for you this year?
Yeah, I definitely have a focus more on the USA BMX series this year. Getting that cup has been a dream of mine since I was a kid. So that is definitely a focus for me for sure. And then obviously just carrying that momentum into the World Cups, doing as well as I can do there. And then it'd be cool to put on another good showing at Worlds and kind of back that up. So, but definitely the focus is on the USA BMX series for me this year.
Definitely. You and a lot of racers across the country are in the predicament of you don't have a big hill around you. You work with what you got. I know you go to Chula Vista and train with Tyler Brown a decent amount throughout the year, get some big hill time out in Chula. But how do you transform or how do you transmit your small hill local night efforts into maybe that big hill or into, training for a track, 2 months, 3 months down the line?
Yeah, it definitely is a challenge, and something that I maybe don't have all the answers to just yet. But just I mean, I think for me, as long as I believe in myself and I feel comfortable on the track, then I mean the hill is just a little bit bigger, right? So I think as long as I feel good on the bike, that's really all that matters. And then just trying to for me, I like to try to ride it at least once a month. Because sometimes when you don't ride it for a good bit of time, when you get back up there, you're kind of like, oh gosh. So for me, I try to ride it at least once a month, just to kind of keep at it. But yeah, I mean, as long as I'm feeling good on the bike, I think really that's all that matters. So
Right. That muscle memory is a huge portion to it. And at this point in your career, you have that muscle memory, but a little bit extra doesn't hurt, right? For that big hill.
yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
And just going to the big hill races maybe like a week early just to get a little bit extra time. And at that point, I usually feel pretty good.
Nice. Well, Bakersfield, especially for the West Coasters, Arizona, Nevada, California, that entire, West Coast region, that's a pretty big stop each year. What are some of your memories from an amateur racer at Bakersfield?
Ooh, to be honest, I don't have that many memories as a kid there for some reason. I don't really know why.
Let's just in with the rest.
Yeah. I don't really know why I don't have a ton of memories there. But for me, I'm just excited to hop in the car and be able to just drive to the race. I feel like it's been forever since I've been able to do that. So yeah, I'm just excited to do a little road trip there and not have to fly. But
yeah, definitely. Well, second stop on the series, 2 days of racing. Gonna be Bakersfield's, in my eyes, is known for tight and compact, not just the track but the environment around it.
right.
With this new schedule, it pushes you under the lights even more throughout your schedule. So, what are you excited for about racing under the lights in Bakersfield? How does that that track environment and that energy transmit into your riding?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really much of a morning person, so I'll take racing under the lights. But no, I think it's super cool to do that and kind of be a little bit of a pro show and be able to be there and watch the amateur mains is cool too. So see a little bit of that. But no, I'm excited, and I think that hopefully there'll be some people there from my local, have a little bit of a hometown crowd and everything. So yeah, I think it'll be super cool.
Definitely. Well, you're in Tulsa. Let's say you just hoisted your first silver cup. What did it take throughout the season to get you there?
Really just putting all the pieces together every single lap. It's really easy to just focus in on one thing that you need to do, but then forget about the other 3 things that you also have to execute during that lap. So just riding smart and riding to my ability every single lap would be the main thing. Because it's super easy to go out there and make those mistakes, and then as soon as you do one mistake, it snowballs from there on the lap. So really just riding to the best of my ability every single lap and doing everything that I need to do each lap.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.